Whoa, that's a lot of subscribers.
Hey everyone, Furno here, and yes, if you couldn't tell, this is my voice. I just want to begin this video by saying thank you all for 1,000 subscribers. I never thought I'd make it this far, and seeing so many people actively enjoy my music really makes me feel happy as a composer. So, what better way to celebrate this milestone than for me to answer some of your questions? So without further delay, let's get right into them. WizPig45 asks, will you ever release the FLPs for your remixes like Dual Destruction and Monochrome Finale Mix from Funktober 1 and 2? Well, I've got good news for you, because the FLPs for both Funktober 1 and 2 are now readily available for download. Links can be found in the description of this video, and soon after this video is uploaded, the individual song releases for Funktober 1 and 2. Just be sure to credit me when using them, please. Leviathan asks, 1. The boyfriend vocals you use are awesome. Did you make them yourself? 2. Out of all your projects, which one would you say you're most proud of? 3. What inspired you to start making music? And finally, what would you call your favorite FNF song of all time? Or just some absolute favorites? For the first question, yeah, I didn't make any of the boyfriend chromatics I used myself. In fact, I do have some kind of timeline, which kinda goes like this. From 2022 to 2023, which is basically Funktober 1 era, I've been using the classic boyfriend chromatics. For 2024, I decided to go a little bit different, and use different boyfriend chromatics for my remixes. More specifically, I use Recklessm's boyfriend chromatic along with the Sarpoopy boyfriend chromatic, which sounds very similar to the one that Fluffy FHX uses. As for now, in 2025, I've been using a boyfriend chromatic made by, forgive me if I mispronounced the name, Illumae, which I've used in my Thorns remix. Secondly, the project I'm very proud of making was actually the Cosmic Concerto all the way back in March of 2024. If I could give a reason, I feel like with that project specifically, it allowed me to branch out into different genres of music. I feel like I gained more variety with that alone. Not to mention that it was kind of my first ever true song compilation project, meaning that all the songs were compiled into one video, which I would later go on to reuse for Funktober 2, which released in November of that year. For question 3, I feel like despite my FNF style content, I didn't really get my stride for music through that. At least, not entirely. Instead, it was from an indie game called Just Shapes and Beats. You see, back in 2018 when the game came out, I saw a boss compilation of the game on YouTube, and I thought, it's very interesting, might as well go check it out. Because what else was there to do? And oh boy did that game get me hooked. More specifically, I'd say that New Game, Barracuda, and Final Boss were the ones that really hooked me in. And at that visceral moment, that straight up changed my brain chemistry, because, fun fact, before I was interested in music, I was very into science. And when that music just rung in my ears, that changed me forever. I went from wanting to pursue chemical science to wanting to make awesome beats like this. But soon one problem arose. Yeah, sure, I wanna make beats, but how do I make them? And that was when Friday Night Funkin' reached the mainstream in 2021. See, many composers of early FNF at the time used FL Studio to make the songs, and that is exactly what spurred me to get FL Studio and give it a go. So, my dad got me FL Studio all the way back in 2022, and I've been composing ever since. For the final question, oh, this is gonna be a bit of a doozy, I'd say it's a tie between Death Toll from Hypno's Lullaby and Paranoia from Mario's Madness. Additionally, I do have a few honorable mentions that I would like to show right here. Take a listen. Making Random Things LOL asks, do you plan on doing more Kirby remixes? Yes, absolutely. The Kirby franchise is filled with so many bangers that I really want to remix. And actually, I do have a few in mind. Here are a few examples. Super Pack asks, do you start making the vocal for the songs you make first, or the instrumentals first? Or perhaps a little bit of both? Honestly, it kinda depends on the song. For example, with FNF, if I want to differentiate the vocals for the song, I usually start with the vocals first. If I want to keep the vocals relatively the same with like a few minor differences, then yeah, I'd start off with the instrumental with the original vocals in the background. Original songs are kind of a whole different beast in of themselves. Usually I'd either think of a drum beat, a melody, a chord sequence. Honestly, anything could trigger what an original song is gonna be, and it's rather volatile on how it starts. Dindin2155 asks, who do you think would win in a fight? One 800-pound gorilla or 100 average adults? 100 average adults. They would either exhaust the gorilla through attrition, since, well, it can't fight forever, it'll eventually get exhausted, or they could simply overpower it by rushing it all at once. Jonetta Zodiac09 asks, are you a fan of Murder Drones, The Amazing Digital Circus, or The Gaslight District? What is your favorite ship of Murder Drones or FNF? As someone who's watched SMG4 ever since 2012, I've come to admire Glitch's many projects over the years. From Meta Runner to the Gaslight District, they're all pretty great. While I really wouldn't consider myself a fan, I do admire the absolute craftsmanship and passion that goes into these shows and projects. As for the second question, honestly, I don't have one. Yeah, sorry about that. Rayan5221 asks, are you going to make a mod about Funktober 2 or not? While I'd absolutely love to make a mod about Funktober 2, I don't think it's in the realm of possibilities. For starters, I am only good at making music and sometimes making art. Coding is not my strong suit, nor is charting. Secondly, to address the big elephant in the room, I don't think Dual Destruction is meant to be modded. I mean, come on. It's a 24-minute song with multiple characters and 5 whole acts. It is going to be hell to chart and code that entire thing without losing sanity. The Dankest Memer asks, is there anything you hope to do someday that you don't feel like you're currently capable of? I personally have 3 answers to this question. Firstly, I want to get better at writing lyrics so that I can finally make songs that have much more meaning to them. Secondly, I want to make more content focused more on my OCs, whether it be character lore, art, or even more songs about them. The Lost Creative Soul is kind of a 2 birds in 1 stone situation for both of these goals, since it was the first ever lyrical song I've written and it was about one of my OCs. Finally, and most importantly, along with making music, I want to get into voice acting. For those who don't know, I voiced in most of my FNF remixes. From Beazel's deranged laugh in Death Tolls to Mike's final chokes in the Dissension retake. Along with making music, voice acting has also been a great passion of mine, and I really want to pursue it. In fact, I might even make a channel based purely on my voice acting endeavors. Who knows, I might get somewhere with it. And that concludes the 1K Q&A special. Huge thank you to the people who submitted questions for me to answer, and once again, thank you all for 1,000 subscribers. Also, terribly sorry for the major delay this video had. July wasn't really a very good month for me, but I really hope I can get back into the swing of things this month. And who knows, maybe I might achieve something more. But now, I'll just try to take it easy. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all soon.